Hello and welcome to the Dumbfounder Show. This is the place where some regular dumb guy from Canada is gonna build something fantastic. If you're a dumb person from somewhere in the world and you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with the process of making a company, making software, doing marketing, just becoming like smarter and stuff, then you found the right place. So let's jump into this thing right away. Let's do it. Thing is, you know, um, as you know from the last couple of videos, I was like really focused on just other stuff, and I don't know. I started to like just get totally like I don't know, like so what we were Blaine is at work, and then somehow, as you can see, the last time Blaine was at work was like a week ago, exactly a week ago, and then suddenly Blaine just stopped going to work. I mean, I didn't necessarily stop going to work. I just like I don't know. Sometimes when you dabble in new things, it takes like a little bit of time to kind of figure out what, find your bearings. What am I doing? Where am I going? What's going on? Things like that. That's kind of where I was at. And then suddenly I just like remembered, oh, wait a minute. We're not done. Like we're still working on the same thing that we've been working on for years, like working on this thing for 10 years. And I thought I had something. And then suddenly I just realized, oh, wait a minute. I don't have anything. Still don't have it. So, all right. Anyways, it's okay. That's what being a dumb founder is about. Is just being patient in what's going on. Let's jump into the Mira board because when we go to the very center of the methodology that I follow, that I adhere to, we if you feel like you're kind of like off in La La Land and like you thought you were like suddenly found something and then like you're there for a couple of days and then wait a minute, that's not the end. That's not the end. Like you're on a vacation, right? You jump on an airplane, and then because you've been dreaming about this beach, and then like you fly all the way over halfway across the world, and like you get out of the airport, jump into taxi, and taxi takes you to the resort, and then you put all your stuff, your bags and stuff in the room, and then you change into your swimsuit, you grab your towel and your beach towel and your lawn chair, and you go out to the beach and you sit down, and then it's like, you know you sit on the beach for a couple of minutes, and then you like look around like, oh, I made it to the beach. Now what? And you ask yourself, are all the tasks done? And the answer inevitably is no, not all the tasks are done. And so what do you got to do? You got to touch base. Touch base. Right? Even in baseball, if we use the term touch base, we can also use the term touch base from the concept of baseball, meaning like run around the three bases, and then you come home, and then you touch the base, and then what? And then you got to go up to bat again. That's not the end of the game. So, like, what does it actually mean to touch base? Touch base is actually a question, a series of questions. The first question is, what are you working on? And that's where I'm at right now because I'm a little bit confused about like, what am I working on? We were working on Cubic Connect. For some reason, it changed the words from engine to do. I don't know why I did that. But I mean, to do is also fine. I don't really care. Anyways, because if you click the engine, this is engine. This is to do. Okay, I see. This is to do. All right, so we're in to do. And so you can method. This is the issue I got now. So the reason I'm building these tools is because I need tools. I need tools so I can manage my thinking. Where did this tool come from? This tool comes from the original site that I'm trying to build, which is like projects, objectives, scoreboard, and Rabbit Race Goal Tracker. Once I got to the Rabbit Race Goal Tracker, then I was kind of confused because if we look at this thing, we see objectives and scoreboard. In fact, if we go to the public site, you can see this is how we create objectives. We go through the 17 this 17 question process in order to create our scoreboard. And then here's our scoreboard. So we got those two things working out for us, no problem. So we got the objectives modules and the objectives related. See, look, it's the track your objectives progress through 17-step journey. We got our scoreboard, which is basically just to-do list. I mean, it doesn't look like it in here. It's not quite because eventually I got to rabbit race goal tracker and then I was just confused about like, okay, how do I do that? But you can see it's basically the same thing. You see here's the dial and then here's the tasks and then we have this rabbit that goes across. So I mean it's the same idea. Dial in your priorities, focus on what matters now, and then all right. So I'm having a really hard time like getting my brain back into this. Now, there's another thing, there's another reason, something that just kind of popped into my mind. It's this thing here. So when we can add a virtual persona. And the reason why we're going to add a virtual persona is because, okay, we can't add a virtual persona. Anyways, we got to fix the software. So I'm having a hard time now because I have two like projects. I have two websites that are not connected to each other. I have the Rabbit Race Goal Tracker, which is now called Cubic Connect, and then I have this page. I have the public site, which has like the 17 questions and it has the task list. And then I have the paid the sign up version, which is connected to Superbase, which has the which I need to turn on my what's it called, my Docker. I got to turn on my Docker so that it actually starts to work. That's why this thing doesn't work because Docker's not on right now. And I'm just like really stressed. Like, how do I connect all these things together? So, like, are we going to start from person on the floor, like on the front lines, like the person who actually has to get the job done? And it's a tool for people to get work done. Now the question is, how do tasks show up in this task list? Well, tasks show up in this task list when the tasks are assigned to you in the scoreboard. So let's just jump back into the score. All right, so let's say that I assign a task to Nathana. Now it says also do. It should say also do this. So also do this, and it needs to be done by tomorrow. Is this tomorrow? I don't even know if this is tomorrow or not. Yeah, it's next day after tomorrow. Okay, so there you go. There. Now, what should happen now is that task will arrive. It'll be populated here. So it should say uh, also do this. Right? So that's how it connects. That's how now I don't know how it works in ClickUp. So I'm sure ClickUp also has this type of concept where when you add something to like a task list on the main board, then the task will appear into the individual task list of a team member. You see how I'm trying to connect these? So we have the Cubic Connect is attached to this task list. Now, this task list was created because our team, we went through these questions in our weekly meeting. We have these discussions where we talk about these things in order to manage our meetings. And then the meetings eventually lead to people adding tasks to task lists. Now, but we have to go into the dashboard. Why? Because we have to actually create a project. I don't know what's that guy's name. Right, Bilbo Baggins is isn't that the dude from? All right, so what's the purpose of the project? It means to secure the golden ring. What are you up to achieve? Immortality. Market, competing in the market of the gods. What are some important characteristics to the customers? They want to kill us. How are you gonna win? Luck and hard work. All right, so we just created the. All right, didn't actually save them because it's not connected. I didn't turn on Docker. All right, so basically what happens is now that we have a project, once we have a project, then that's going to open up this interface where we're going to be able to have a discussion with the team about these different subjects. And then once we have finished talking to the team about these 17 questions, well, to this list, kick your buttocks. I don't know what's better. All right. Now, the problem I'm trying to solve right now, I'm not actually doing it. Okay, the touch base. What are you working on? What are you going to do today? What do you need help with? What do I need help with? So, the issue that I'm trying to is here. So, when you dial in your priorities, no, when you have a task, when my boss adds this task here, so when I finish it, I can click this. Now, when I click this, then it's gonna on the main dashboard, on the team dashboard, on the team to-do list. I call it a scoreboard. On the team scoreboard, then that thing is going to be checked off. It means that I checked it off. I did it. Right? And then like if I'm working on something, the reason that we have this is because shave a monkey. Let's say we get a shave a monkey. All right. Now we're going to cube it. Safely secure the monkey to prevent injury to the animal or yourself during the shaving process. Gently wash and thoroughly wet the monkey fur in warm water to soften it for shaving. Rinse the monkey to remove any loose fur. All right, so the first thing we need to do is safely secure the monkey. All right. Okay, so we're gonna work on that. So let's say that the boss added a task to my task list. Say he says he wants me to shave the monkey, and then I'm just like, why do I shave the monkey? So this is the thing. It's like if I don't want to, it's related to this concept of touch base. Because a lot of the time, the boss is going to ask you, okay, what are you working on? And then you could tell them the task that you're working on. And then you say, what are you working on today? And you're like, well, I don't actually really don't even know what I'm supposed to do today. So then you just click Qubit and then it turns it into 4 little steps. And then it's like now it's broken down into small pieces. And then you can tell your boss what you're actually going to work on today. See, it's magical. What do you need help with? And then you can answer that question now because once you break it down into that really, really small, like little bites, then it becomes much easier for you to answer the question with what do you need help with? And then what are some potential sources of assistance? So, and then of course, this is where people are going to start using their little chatbots. They're going to have a little conversation with the chatbot. But the key is how do I get to like what do you need help with? You have to break it down into a small enough piece that you can actually have a discussion with your chatbot or with your boss or with somebody else to answer that question. All right. So now what I'm saying here with our that I can make it into infinitely smaller steps. Right? How do you safely secure a monkey? All right, so we click deep dive, and then it tells us the 4 steps to safely secure a monkey. Assess the monkey's temperament and select the most appropriate humane restraint method. Gentle towel wrap is specialized primate restraint device to minimize stress and prevent reactive behavior. Calmly and gently approach the monkey using soothing vocalization and slow, deliberate movement to build trust. How do you do that? Calmly and gently approach the monkey. Begin to use soft, low volume, soothing vocal, gently coo, coo, and a quiet conversational tone while continuously observing the monkey's reaction for any signs of unease or relaxation. Initiate a very slow, deliberate advance toward the monkey, ensuring all movements with predictable and fluid, avoid sudden gestures. Okay, I think I pretty much understand how to calmly and gently secure a monkey. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Uh, Carefully apply the chosen restraint device. Okay, that's interesting. Calmly and gently approach the monkey. Assess the monkey's temper. How do you assess the monkey's temperament? Recall or review the monkey's individual history, including previous interactions, known temperament traits, response to handling. Okay, so now I just feel like it was so funny until you get to like the details, and then it's like, oh, okay, I'm a veterinarian. So you see this, we have like a really great tool. It's amazing, and I really love this tool. And we can infinitely make the thing smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, now what? So I want to save this, but how? You see the problem here? Like, I just want to file this away. So, because I don't need it right now, because I need to change, I need to focus on something else. And currently, there's no way for me to save this into a file system. There's no dashboard. There's no project. There's no project view. And so somehow I have to connect. I have to connect the personal. Like this is my personal. Like check this out. So if we go into the dashboard and we go into the Rabbit Race Goal Tracker. So in this Rabbit Race Goal Tracker, we have the ability to add a private task. It means that some of the tasks are going to be added uh, when a task is added to the scoreboard, and then some of the tasks are going to be just my own private tasks. I'm just adding it myself. All right. So, like, I want people to use Cubic Connect for their own personal device, and that's kind of what I was building before. And then I don't know, like I had some visions for like some different things I could do with this piece of software. And then now it's like, it's I don't know what like. And then I was like, I was gonna jump into like AI software development, and then no AI vision, AI images and videos, and then start to push people into this tool. But everything just fell apart. And and the thing is, like, I have a bunch of different projects that I'm working on, and I'm having a hard time keeping them all organized. All right, so how do I save this into a project? See, we still have the issue of if I'm going to use this for my own private tasks, then I need to be able to create a project. And then if I'm going to have a project which is associated with a project that was created from from a project with a team, then where a task has been assigned to me in a scoreboard, then I need to be able to see those tasks, but it's still a project. So it all starts with the project. If I'm on my Cubic Connect screen, I need to be able to create a project. Hmm. Let's go back to the original design. The original design was like this. And where's Cubic Connect? Well, Cubic Connect is it's a hypothetical thing. It's not actually a real thing. It's here. Are you done all the tasks? No, then you got to go to the touch base. Okay, so the Qubit Connect is actually it's 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 here. It's connect when we take the task, and then it's the view of the employee of the scoreboard. So Qubit Connect is okay. No, it's Qubit Connect. Every person who is listed on this scoreboard will have a Qubit Connect view, and each Qubit Connect view is going to be assigned to a person, and each assigned Qubit Connect person is going to have tasks which are automatically populated based on tasks that are added here. And then that person should be able to also create their own objectives. So they can also create their own tasks. The tasks either they come from doing a brainstorm module, doing an objectives module, or also doing a brainstorm and choose module. Okay, so this is all connected to this scoreboard, and the vision is also connecting. So all of this information is connected to one specific vision, which brings us back to the projects page. So you have to create a project before you can create. All right, so then now if we go into our Qubit Connect, we have to create a project first. So the issue that I'm facing is if I'm just a regular guy, just a regular dude, like if I'm talking about my own, if I talk about, like, I want to be able to have the option to add team members to any project that I create. Okay, but then I remember we were going to do that based on roles. So if you're an account manager or a project owner, objective owner, or a team member. So then this is the corporate software. Now, what if I'm not? What if I don't have? What if I'm not the account manager? Then see, everyone's account manager means that I can add team members to a project. It means I can create a project and I can add team members to the project. So it's this thing here. This section is account manager. Project owner, which for some reason I can't change that. A project owner is somebody who can create a project. But the creating the project it's a project inside of the account manager's account. So it means that, like, let's say that my account manager owns the software, and then I'm inside of his account. He labels me as a project owner. So it means that I can add and delete projects. Or you could be an objective owner. So let's say that somebody on the team created the project. Now I can be like a scrum master. I would say that the objectives module is more like a scrum master. So then I can facilitate going through the objectives and brainstorming modules in order to add tasks to the scoreboard. And then if you're just a team member, then you can't add tasks to the scoreboard. The only thing you can do is you can use your Qubit Connect in order to update the status of the tasks that have been assigned to you. So then there's a disconnect because in the corporate version of the software, let's say that I'm a team member. If I'm a team member, then I have a Rabbit Race Goal Tracker view. I can see my own rabbit. I can see where the tasks are. So let's say that so I would be seeing this view, which actually isn't this view. I would be seeing this view, no, because this is the scoreboard view. So I would have the scoreboard view where I could see all the tasks of everybody on the team, and I could see the objectives module of everybody of the objectives, things that we filled out related to this project. So if I'm a team member, it means I can see all the projects that I'm assigned to. I can see all the objectives which are associated with these projects. I can see all the scoreboards which are connected to these projects. And then my own Rabbit Race goal tracker, I can influence I can check off um, the tasks that have been assigned to me. And I can also use my Rabbit Race goal tracker in order to break the tasks down into smaller steps in order to help me to get my tasks done. Okay, so that's the corporate side. Now, if I'm not in the corporate side, that means that like, what if I'm using Qubit Connect as a personal in my personal device? See, the issue is that I have two pieces of software, and now I need to connect those two pieces of software together. And so either I'm going to be building my Qubit Connect into this piece of software, or I'm going to be building something related to this software into my Qubit Connect. Now, I think it's probably what we should do is focus on building the Qubit Connect. Um, Scoreboard. Hmm. Let me look at the Qubit Connect for a minute. Okay, every time I use Qubit Connect, it's basically, yeah, it's always like one page, like one interface. It's always related to like one task. I mean, you could put more than one task into that. Technically, it looks just like a scoreboard. No, it doesn't look like a scoreboard because it has a task and then you break the task. So this is not a scoreboard. This is not a scoreboard. So we need to build the scoreboard into this. And then once we have the scoreboard, then we can build in the modules. Oh, okay. So in fact, we are still here. Touch base. This is what I actually want to build into it is the touch base. Now, the issue is it's asking, are all the tasks done? Are all the tasks done? This is a micro. This is even smaller than that because this is just one task. This is a single task. I mean, you could put more than one task in it, but this is not a scoreboard. This is smaller than a project. It's a scoreboard is associated with one project. A Qubit Connect to do is associated with one or a couple of tasks. So the question is from here, do I connect this to a scoreboard? Hmm. All right, let's focus on how I use it. So what do I want to be able to do? I want to be able to This doesn't make sense anymore. All right, let's say I created a vision module. And then, yeah, I don't like this. This view doesn't make sense anymore. Because somebody might just touch the touch base, and then why would I be touching the touch base? It doesn't make sense. So it means we're in here. Okay. I can almost see it. It's here. Okay. Yeah, I'm just like trying to figure out what to do here. All right. The last time I talked to these Gemini characters, we were doing something else. We were doing something to do with priority dial. What is this? All right, let me show you my whole screen because I think that we're going to need to see more. Heh. Didn't work. Okay. All right. So there's a couple of features that I've been thinking about implementing to the engine screen. People can just put a link to an Instagram video, and then it'll just pull the transcript into here or pull the video into here. Also, there's some questions about the API key. If you save it into your local storage, maybe it's possible for people that have some Chrome thing. They can actually get your API key. There's a couple of issues here that I'm trying to think through. But the main thing is that we need this new feature. The way I'm seeing it is kind of like a system of tabs. Do some chatting with this, okay. Okay, so let's jump into. Oh, what's this? They got a new talker here. Hello. Hello, hello. Okay, this is different. I'm not sure to what extent this is going to actually work because when I'm using Google Gemini, it's actually a lot easier to use, and it also shows me the text as I'm speaking. Um, yeah, I know earlier that we talked about a couple of other features, and um, I think that we are not going to focus on those features right now. I think that they're interesting features, but I'm having another problem that I need to resolve, and it's related to my dog is snoring, and it's related to I don't know. So if you look at our website, you'll see that we have a Scout tab and we have a To Do tab, and the sorry, not a Scout tab. We have a we have a To Do tab and we have an Engine tab. Kundi, quiet. So basically, we have Qubit Connect To Do. Qubit Connect To Do is it's like a whole system so that I can write in some tasks that like things that I'm trying to do in general, like things that I'm trying to get done. And then if I'm stuck, then what I can do is I can just click Qubit, and then it'll give me like it'll use AI, it'll use the API key. It'll give me the 4 steps to be able to get that task done. Now, if I click Engine, then this is actually a different product. So this product, it enables me to take a video from Instagram. So if I download an Instagram video, and then if I get the transcript of that video, I can upload the video and the transcript. And then what it's going to do is it's going to give me the main to do items from any educational Instagram video. Or I can click the text mode, and then I can just like get any text online, and I can like just basically put in a bunch of raw text. Maybe it's from a blog post or from a Reddit thread, and it'll take that information and it'll turn it into like a main to-do list. And then also it has the same 2 buttons. So it has like the Qubit Connect. Well, it has the Qubit button. So I click the Qubit button, and then what that does is it will enable me to like see the 4 steps to do that task. And then on any of those 4 steps, I can click deep dive. And deep dive will then break down whatever that single step was that was created after I click Qubit, and it'll break it down into 4 more smaller steps. So now I'm starting to think about like how do I keep track of different projects? For example, with the Qubit Connect engine, it's basically oh, come on. So it just dies. You get 2 minutes and then it just dies. All right. Now I think that I'm pretty sure that these two instances they have like quite a bit of documentation um, going back. Yeah, we've been using these for a while. So they have I think this is Architect. I think they have a pretty software. Yes, they have a very deep understanding of the software. So I think we can use these. No, this is when. Hmm, I'm not sure that this one has that deep understanding of my code base. All right, this is so I need to spin up some new Gemini agents. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna. All right. Previously, we have created a series of documentation. I think it's in the docs folder, and I think maybe if you read through all of our markdown files, then I think you'll find a series of markdown files which are related to the documentation that would be needed for a Gemini instance to understand our code base. And and with that understanding, then we would be able to work with it in order to continue to work on our code. And so what I need you to do is first, I need you to find all the markdown files which are related to how we would train a new, like the how do we would give an appropriate amount of context to a Gemini agent, what files it needs to know, what's the condition of our code base, how does our project work, and then compare that documentation to the actual situation of what our code base looks like right now, and then update that documentation. After you've updated all of that documentation, then I want you to provide me some instructions with which files to provide for those agents. And then after we have provided those files with to those agents, then we're going to start working on a new feature. So go ahead and create a plan and let's get ready. Does not support this media type. What? Okay, let's do some new chat. And let's do a new chat here. How come it doesn't say 3.1? Okay, task, prepare context for Gemini agent and plan new feature. Review existing documentation, project handoff, markdown tasks, active context markdown, analyze the current code base to understand the project condition, update documentation to reflect actual status, prepare context fixes instructions for Gemini sub agent, propose an implementation plan for the new feature. All right, so what I'm envisioning here is like tabs, tabs, tab. So I want to be able to I want to be able to push it. It's like really hard because it's not quite in my mind yet. I want to be able to push. I want to have like a arrow here. I click the arrow, and then it opens up tabs. You know when you have a like a book and you add those little thingies that stick out? What are those things called? Colored page tabs. Book. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Book tabs. Yeah. Still working on this thing. See what I mean? It doesn't make for good YouTube video, huh? I'm just typing. So basically, the conversation it's about having some little button up here somewhere, and then when you click it, then this column would appear, and then let's say that I click the button, and then I could push plus project, and then a tab would appear, and then I push project again, another tab would appear, push project again, another tab would appear. And then so when I click a project, then it'll open up this view. And if I click a different project, and so each of these would be saved depending on the project. All right, so now once it's saved, once I'm able to save these to projects, it means I have multiple projects that I can be looking at any time. Now, once I'm able to have multiple projects in the Rabbit Race Goal Tracker, yeah, exactly. See, the problem I have is here. It's see, we want to be able to filter for projects, filter for objectives, but it's like it's not quite connecting. But if we have a project view, then at least from my perspective, see, we have two different views. We have the manager view, which is the manager is viewing my Rabbit Race Goal Tracker, or he or she is viewing any of the employees' Rabbit Race Goal Trackers. And then we have another view, which is the like looking at my own Rabbit Race Goal Tracker and how do I filter through my projects? Because right now this is only one project. This is the tasks for one project. So there you go. Uh, See, this is the hard part about like software design because I'm not a software engineer, but I'm a designer. I'm trying to design this whole process. Auditing previous work by planning book tabs feature completed full code base audit. Uh, Examining current to-do page architecture, storage layer, and store understanding. Now, let me examine the full to-do page architecture, the page components. Reading to-do components. Let me look at the remaining to-do components. See, the thing is with if you're using the Claude Opus 4.6 thinking, the general feeling is that like I don't need to spin up writing a comprehensive book tab. Is that when you're using Claude Opus 4.6 thinking, um, you're restricted with the amount of like times that you can use it inside of anti-gravity. All right. So as you can see, I'm a pro user of Google Gemini. I use it for like a lot of things. And so I prefer to be a pro user, my experiences. Now, is there another I guess Claude, I think does Claude connect you with an IDE? Like, I don't know how Claude Code actually works. I've never tried it, so I don't know how. Like, is it the same thing? Is it the same user experience to develop a website using Claude Code? And does it connect to all these other services that you can connect to when you're connected with Google? Because Google has like it has everything. So my question is like, I don't know. Anyways, so let's see what we're gonna do here. Comprehensive implementation plan for editing. So we got let's go here. We got the context instructions. So Gemini agent system prompt, paste to the agent system context, Cubic Connect you're working on, Cubic Connect. Here's this, there's that, there's this. Now, what I discovered is you can actually download this. You can export this artifact. But I don't know. Let's see what it says. Like, see, for example, like this, like here's this is a file, and like, does it need to have this code? And then what? Do we upload all thousands and thousands of lines of code? 500 lines of code. Anyways, I'm gonna spin this all up, and it's just gonna be me just cutting and pasting for the next 20 minutes. So, whatever. I don't know. It's not really gonna make great television. So, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.